Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, from, you were watching The Addams Family on KPLR Channel 11.2. Thanks. You are now watching a live broadcast of KTRS Radio on 11.2. Now, if you want to watch, you can watch it on 11.2 if you have an HD antenna. If you have Charter, you can watch us on Channel 187. If you have an app or smartphone, you can download the smartphone. One app, one radio station, anywhere in the world, get you connected to St. Louis. You can certainly watch us at stltoday.com. Go to the opinion tab. You can watch us at ktrs.com. You can listen to us on our app. And, of course, always online, 550 on your AM dial. Now, it's 9:10. And lots of talk over the last couple of days over the Confederate flag. And lots of talk about the Confederate monument at Forest Park. And the fact that Representative Lacy Clay has officially asked Mayor Slay to remove that Confederate monument from Forest Park. Now, I got to tell you, I actually, when I first got my dog Molly, I used to take Molly over to that area where that Confederate monument is, and I would sort of take her on a leash and sort of walk her, and I used the park for that. And I had seen that monument, and I never went up and read what it was. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. It didn't register with me if I did. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just another one of those monuments in which, you know, you walk past and you never really know what it says or why it's there, right? So I personally was not offended by this monument because even though I saw it almost every day, I didn't know what it meant, and I didn't, it was too far away to really understand it, so I didn't care. But now that it's a big deal because of the Confederate flag and so on and so forth. And so now they're calling for this Confederate memorial. It's not even a flag. It's a Confederate memorial that I guess was there since 1914. And now there are people who are calling for it to be taken down because it is disrespectful to people and unacceptable in public and a detriment to society and something we shouldn't put in public and all of these things that make it a terrible monument. Now, I'm going to reserve judgment on that memorial or that statue, at least for the time being, because something else in Forest Park has come to my attention that needs attention, not next week, not after the 4th of July, not after we sort of get through Fair St. Louis, not after Lou Fest, not after we take it under advisement and let's deal with the Rams first. We need to address this at Forest Park immediately. And when I say immediately, I mean like right now. Like, you need to call Forest Park Forever. You need to call the mayor's office. You need to call Representative Clay's office. We really need to come together as a community and deal with something at Forest Park before we deal with the Confederate memorial. Now, look, I'm one of those guys, like a lot of you, who it's almost comical people get offended at the things people get offended at, right? I'm one of these guys, I don't care. I'm one of these people who says, hey, how come people aren't offended over this? But I'm not offended over it, right? I'm one of those guys. Hey, how come people are offended over that guy saying this, but this guy's saying that, right? I'm one of those guys. So nothing really offends me. I don't really care. Matter of fact, we did a show a couple of years ago in which people called up, and we couldn't believe that back in the 70s that there were men, young boys, who were forced to take swimming classes in high school, public classes in high school, and they were forced to wear no clothes. And somebody called up and said that, and I didn't believe them. I called them a liar. All of a sudden, the phones blew up with young man after, now they're adults, saying, yeah, when I was in this high school, we were forced to swim naked. How old are you? Oh, 14, 15, 16. I mean, it was one of these things where I was like, what? You forced, teenage boys were forced to go to swim class naked in public schools? It was the weirdest thing I ever heard of. And even that didn't offend me. It was like, wow, that's a weird thing. Wow, I don't know if I would have been into that, but I probably would have made a stink at the time, but being what it is. This deal at Forest Park right now, I'm not joking about this. I'm not joking about this. I'm not trying to create radio controversy. This isn't a radio gimmick. This isn't a radio. I cannot believe that this has continued to be. Now, the statue I'm talking about at Forest Park that needs to be removed immediately was initially erected, and I do mean erected, in 1962. Its material is of bronze and limestone, and it turns out the owner of this statue is the city of St. Louis. However, it resides inside the St. Louis Zoo. And I know this is radio, so I'm going to do the best I can in explaining what this statue depicts. But as you also know, we're on television. So those of you who are watching on television, we're going to show in a moment, we're going to show a picture of the statue. We have a picture of the statue up on our Facebook page. I have a picture of the statue on my Twitter account. We have it on the KTRS Facebook page. I have it on my Facebook page. We have it on the station Facebook page. We have it at KTRS.com. Go to McGraw News, and there's a picture of this statue. So if you're listening on the radio or on the audio side, you can find it out there. The statue is of the former St. Louis director of the zoo, George Philip Vierheller, who was, I guess, world-renowned. So world-renowned that he has a statue, when he retired in 1960, dedicated to him. The statue was originally, from what I understand, doing a little research, was originally supposed to be in the main entrance with that giant fountain area where you walk in on the south entrance, where you walk in, and that giant sort of lake with the fountain there. It was supposed to be there, but according to this one website, it was lost, so they had to move it. And where did they move it? They moved the statue about 100 yards past the Herpetarium and past the statue of the Snake Man. This statue that has been erected, and I do mean erected, at the zoo since 1962 is of George Philip Vierheller, the first director of the St. Louis Zoo, when he retired. He was known for driving around in a convertible, smoking a cigar with a chimpanzee. Now, why do I bring that up? Because, and I'm not joking when I say this, this statue called Monkey Man is a picture or a life-size statue of George Philip Vierheller and a monkey. Or a chimpanzee, but the statue is called Monkey Man, so let's assume it's a monkey. And the monkey is in a position in which nobody can argue that this monkey looks to be giving the director of the St. Louis Zoo fellatio. You think I'm joking. The monkey is holding hands. One hand is holding the monkey's arm. The monkey's other arm is in the middle of the man's chest. The man is standing straight. The monkey is standing straight up. And the monkey's head is buried in the man's crotch. You think I'm joking. This statue has stood next to a train station at the St. Louis Zoo since 1962. You have a picture of a monkey performing a sex act on the first director of the St. Louis Zoo, and people want to take down the Confederate monument? Are you kidding me? You have a monkey that is performing fellatio on the first director of the zoo. This statue was commissioned in 1962 to honor the man. To honor the man, you erect a statue in which the man has an erection. This is if I had a child and the child goes to the zoo every day, and every single day my child had to walk past a statue of a monkey performing a sex act on the director, I would be at City Hall. Now, is the monkey actually performing fellatio on the man? No. However, from almost every angle, that's what it looks like. Now, I know art is subjective, and I know art is in the eye of the beholder. And I can certainly appreciate some suggestive art, and I can appreciate a painting or a picture of a beautiful man or the statue of David outside the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, and you depict the man in all of his glory. I understand that. I get the naked body and its beauty and its art form and all of that. If the head of the St. Louis Zoo had a picture and he was naked, I get it. But I don't think a picture or a statue where the monkey, you put the monkey anywhere else on the man except in his crotch. There's only two positions that are worse. One, if the monkey was upside down, or two, if the monkey was bending over. Those are the only other things that would be worse than where it is now. There is a statue in the St. Louis Zoo of a monkey giving fellatio to the first director of the zoo, and it's been up there since 1962. That comes down before the Confederate monument comes down. 314-969-KTRS, 1-888-550-KTRS, or star KTRS. When that statue comes down, we should all go to Ted Drew's for a frozen custard. That statue needs to be put away forever. You know, there is a statue of Mark McGwire that was commissioned by the Cardinals that Harry Weber did, that's sitting in a garage somewhere. That can't be displayed. But a monkey giving the zoo director fellatio is somehow acceptable in the children's zoo. This is a new one on me. Ted Drew's, ladies and gentlemen.